Hey all, welcome to The Good Fight. We're here, lesson number 2. So in our last video, we've already approached multiple attributes that we're looking for as martial artists to become better fighters, better human beings. Number 1, again, was some of our footwork, our rhythm, and we started looking at sensitivity development. So today, what we're gonna look at is, 1, we're gonna come back to footwork. This time, we're starting to establish ranging, okay? So it's the distance between me and the object that I'm smashing. Number 2 that we're going to look at today is we start looking at what is a jab, how to throw it, and then we're going to do a partner drill. We're going to hit the partner's hands, okay? We're going to do partner hand-to-hand offense and a little bit of defense, okay? So with that being said, we're going to kickstart into the first drill. The first thing that you're going to do, okay, is you're going to face off with your partner. Your partner's going to take his left arm or his lead hand, okay? And he's going to extend it straight out like this. He's going to make a fist. You want that fist, boom. Smack center of your solar plexus and his. This we call the center line. I'm going to take my arm, straighten it out, and I want to make sure that my wrist is at the crevice of his elbow, like this, okay? Here's the deal. We have one leader, we have one follower. I'm the follower right now, okay? That means when he moves, here's the drill. Step forward, boom. I got to maintain that distance. He steps back, boom. He moves left, he moves right. Boom. I always want to make sure that wrist is at the elbow crevice. Here's how you do it wrong. He moves forward. Where am I? He moves back. Horrifically wrong. Okay? So, now we know what the drill is. We're developing distance and footwork. Okay? 3 minutes, and then we're going to swap. Now that's your introduction to understanding distance ranging with your footwork, okay? You're gonna pick up a lot of stuff. Maybe some of you did good, some of you did bad. Doesn't matter. You just want to do it over and over again and make sure that you're looking for things that you can improve. Now what we're gonna look at is our jab, and we're gonna do it from a stationary position. So go ahead, take your traditional Thai boxing stance or Muay Thai or whatever you like. As long as you understand the structure, you tailor it like a suit. So the hands are up. Okay, first thing to understand is that all strikes from the hands, they start like a chain. They come from the feet up. Now, if you really understand the body, it's actually starts in the hips, back into the feet, and then back up the chain, okay? So really everything starts in the hips. From here, you're gonna push that back leg into the ground, okay? And you're driving it deep on an angle. You're gonna rotate that hip ever so slightly, okay? From here, the right side is gonna shorten and pull back. My left shoulder, I'm gonna drop it straight like a hammer. My arm is gonna come out straight like a piston. Whoop. My knuckles are gonna make contact with the bottom three. On contact, I'm gonna carve the wrist. Boom. If you want, you turn the shoulder as well. The opposing hand is the shield, and it's on my jaw. My elbow is tucked up against my ribs, protecting my ribs. My chin is tucked. To return my punch, I pull the fist, the elbow, and the shoulder, and the hip back into recoil. Boom, and that heel comes back up. So here's the jab, nice and slow, click. Here it is again, click, whoop, click. Okay, I'm gonna do it from this angle, and 3 more. 1, whoop, 2, 3. Okay, one more time from here. Watch my hips. Good. Now, watch how my hips connect to my shoulders. Whoop, boom. Watch how the shoulder snaps the tool. Boom. 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 Okay, so what are you gonna do for your drill with your partner? You can do bare hands. If you have gloves, put them on. Okay? Your partner's gonna cup. Stick your hand out once to know what your reach is from your stance. All you'll do, okay, is you're gonna work your jab like this. Touch, pull back. If you're barehanded, don't smash your partner, okay? Just think of your own technique and your structure for now. We're gonna do a 3-minute drill, then your partner is gonna fire off 3 minutes. Let's try. Now, that was the jab. What we're gonna look at now is several ways that you can defend the jab. We're gonna keep it very simple for now. We're gonna do a lever parry. So the lever parry is essentially, I take my hand, I bring it straight to the center like this. Okay, I bring it right in front of my hand and I just whack the shot away from my head. So it'll look like this. He fires the jab slow at first, okay? And when we're shooting today, guys, we're gonna stay safe. So we're gonna punch away from the face. So the lever's here, the jab comes in, boom. I want it outside of my hand, my face. But my hand doesn't move past my nose or my eyebrow or the outside of my shoulder. There's an imaginary box here. I don't leave there. If I leave there, I compromise my timing for his follow-ups. Okay, so he fires the jab, he's here, lever. Okay, so that's number one. The second one, okay, is gonna be a scoop. So the hand's gonna come down, it's gonna wrap around the knuckle, and I'll pull it back and out. It looks like this, okay? So the shot comes in, boom, see here? I'm gonna scoop around the hand, okay, almost like a hook, and I'm gonna draw it out this way and reset my guard for now. Okay, so again, scoop, boom. Your last one, okay, is to be very rudimentary. It's gonna be a diamond cover. Jab comes in, right? You bring your elbow up, boom, and you're gonna catch it with the outside of the elbow for now, not the top, because you might hurt your partner. You want the outside of the elbow at this point, and it will look like this, okay? So we go, right here, boom. If you do it from this side, he's gonna fire 3 jabs slow. Here's my lever parry, okay? Here's my scoop. Here's my diamond cover, boom. All right, so one partner's gonna fire off that jab for 3 minutes, and then you're gonna swap, the other partner's gonna fire the jab for 3 minutes. Let's try. well done. That concludes our training today. So we covered some of your footwork and your distancing. We covered understanding the jab mechanics, and we drilled it. And then we also understood our lever parry, our scoop, okay, and our diamond cover, and we put it within a drill. If you want more of the training, I suggest you just do it again, where you go back to the first session. Every single one of these sessions, you can do it multiple times and you'll still get something out of it. Again, my suggestion is, as you can see, I don't come here alone. I've got a training partner, I've got a brother, so I want to make sure that I bring my training partner with me along for the ride. So as we said, we're here to see you through to your success, and we're here to cherish ourselves in faith, in fighting, in fitness, and in friendships. And there's the key word, is the friendship aspect that we bring to it, right? So you saw there's a little laughter back and forth, a little bit of banter. Maybe, you know, you can't hear it because we have music, but if you see me talking to him, I'm talking smack to him, right? But we're having fun at the end of the day, yes. Right? So you're always understanding that, yeah, we're here to train. We want to have fun, but we still want to edge on the level, a little bit of seriousness, okay? Because it's a serious thing, right? If I hit Mike in the face with a jab, or he hits me in the face with a jab, we're both going to feel some damaging consequence. And that means we need to ramp up to a certain state of alertness to be able to meet the demands of the environment, okay? So, if you like what you saw, like it, subscribe it, share it with your homies and your community, because we want to bring as many people as we can into this. What we say, glory of God, faith, fitness, fighting, friendship, 4Fs. Next video is on Sunday. We're going to listen to Pastor Michael. He's going to be sharing one of his lessons with us, and I'm going to be there with open ears listening to it with a lot of eagerness, and I hope that you are too. So, we'll see you then.
That was